welcome to another FSU Esports Player Spotlight. Today I have with me Pedro from the Garnet Hearthstone team. So hi, how you doing?
Hey, okay here. Okay, I am Pedro. I'm from El Salvador. I'm a sophomore currently. Hopefully, I will transfer to the main campus on spring. And Hearthstone is my favorite game. It's been like that for 5 years. It's the first time I play competitively, so that was a great opportunity for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like how long have you been playing Hearthstone? Have you been playing Hearthstone since launch or?
I played since TGT, the Grand Tournament,
Okay.
and it's like since 2015 on and off. Like I always take a break, like in the final 2 weeks of an expansion, like when it's a little bit boring. But yeah, I've always played Hearthstone. It hooked me since the beginning, and I couldn't stop playing.
So in general, like what was like the first video game you ever played? Like going
Oh,
back to when you were a kid.
that's a hard one. But one of my older sisters used to play Pokemon Crystal in a Game Boy Advance, I think, and she gave it to me as a birthday present one year. So I think that was the first game I ever played. If it wasn't that one, it would be a Tetris game on the computer. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I started on Pokemon as well, which is like kind of why I like to ask, because like I know a
Yeah.
lot of people are like Pokemon this game or that game or whatever. So like that's cool. Yeah. Does like your previous experience before like with games like that, like do you think any of those skills would like translate into playing Hearthstone, or is it just like no, we play Pokemon for fun?
Well, I also played other games. I think I
Mhm.
played Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a kid. So that was like the first card game I played. It's different than Hearthstone, but it's similar mechanics. I played a little bit Magic. I didn't enjoy it. It seemed a little too complicated for me. So I
Mhm.
think those ones helped more than Pokemon, but it's still like gaming in general helps. Like the practice, stay motivated, stay competitive, like everything helps.
Gummy and I were actually talking a little bit in his interview about how like because he played a lot of Magic the Gathering and he still does. So like he says that like skills from those games are really helpful to like transfer over into like playing Hearthstone and stuff. So it's interesting to see that like parallel here too with you playing Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff. So
Yeah, a lot of the mechanics are the same, like the phases, when do you need to control like the
mhm.
cards that you have, like when do you use the resources, when do you hold them, like it's really interesting, to be honest.
So moving on a little bit, when did you join the esports club?
Oh, this is my first semester in the esports club.
Mhm.
I joined because last semester I saw that we had a Hearthstone team and we saw that we made playoffs. So I was like, oh, it would maybe someone is graduating and I can take their spot in the team. And then I saw there were tryouts, so that's when I joined, basically.
With this new expansion, are there any like sort of decks that you really enjoy? Are there any cards? I mean, obviously Yogg is around again, and that's fun. But are there anything that you really like enjoyed, be it competitively or just like casually fun?
I think every day I'm trying a new deck, basically, and I've enjoyed a lot of them.
Hmm.
Since day one, I've been trying to make Druid work. I still have not made it work. I have like a 30% win rate with the deck. So it's like
Hmm.
really bad, but I'm sure I'm gonna find it someday. Like the class seems so oppressive, but it still loses. So that's my goal for this expansion. Make a druid that can win.
Hmm. Yeah, and the interesting thing to me is always like since this is the last like expansion of the year or whatever, it's like this is the moment where we'll have the most cards. So it's like probably old versions of like the spell druids or whatever, the guardian animals druid, maybe those still work, but it's like I want to make the new stuff in druid work. Like I want to throw a
Yeah,
Yogg in there or whatever. So
a yoga, a charge. Like
yeah, something.
you want to play the new cards as well.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Good luck on that one. So let's talk a little bit about what happened yesterday in playoffs. How did you feel going in?
well, we had a very difficult lineup to bring because we wanted to bring Paladin and Demon Hunter, which were
Hmm.
two of the best win rate decks. Like we knew that a lot of people were gonna go aggro, like really aggressive decks. So we wanted to have that two decks to like kind of protect us. Then we messed around with Priest and Druid to see if we could make a whole control lineup, and it didn't work out. So then we knew that Jacob is really good with the Shaman. So in the aggro matchups, he actually turns them around. Like Shaman shouldn't be favored, but because we have Jacob playing them, like we are favored. So like we decided to bring Evoke Shaman. He refined the deck list. Like we had a lot of choices there, and it actually performed really well. And that last deck we brought Tikatus Warlock. We were one of the only two teams that brought Tikatus to the tournament. And at first it went 3-0, like it was performing really well. And we were really afraid that if there is one deck that can lose us playoffs, is our own Tikatus Warlock. And indeed on round 4, it got swept 3-0 against the Warlock, and that's how we lost. Like it did well before, but we knew it was a risk, and it didn't pay off.
I asked Gumby this before playoffs as well in our interview, was like, do you think it was more of a benefit to you going into playoffs that it was so early in the expansion, or do you think that you like a more like stable meta once you're in playoffs or something?
I think it's a little bit of both. Like in general, when we have a stable meta, like last expansion, we did a whole spreadsheet on like trying to predict what our opponents were gonna bring. So that gave us an edge. This time we couldn't make that. So that did harm us. But we all play a lot. Like I think you saw that since Tuesday, that expansion released to Saturday, we all played like 7 hours a day. So we knew how the meta was gonna look like in that tournament. We got it right. A lot of Demon Hunter, a lot of Paladin, a lot of Shaman. So like it also benefited us. We just brought the wrong deck with the Warlock.
Mm-hmm. Does that experience in playoffs, does it motivate you for next season?
Yeah, we got back-to-back playoffs. That was way more than I was expecting. Like I didn't expect us to go to playoffs, and I think we now play better as a team. So maybe we stay being the same 3 players, we can still compete at an even higher level. And we have a set rotation on the next expansion. So that's always my favorite meta. There's gonna be no Bomb Warrior. There's gonna be no pure Paladin. So hopefully that's even better for us.
Yeah, come first week of April or so, everything's gonna rotate. Yeah. So it's gonna be a lot more, especially if they do like how Tespa did 2 splits this year. Like if they do the 2 splits again, then it'll be really, really nice. What can we expect from like you or your team in the off season? Are you guys still gonna practice together? Are you gonna like maybe pick up some like solo tournaments, or what do you want to do?
I think this is a weird point because I was checking Battle 5 because I do like the meta. Like I want to still keep competing, but there's like no tournaments right now. There's no Master Tours qualifiers. So we're kind of waiting on what the Hearthstone Esports team announced. If they announce qualifiers, Jacob normally doesn't have time, but Cooper and I always talk on Friday to decide a lineup that we want to try in qualifiers. So the team aspect still continues. And whenever we're in game and we see that someone is doing really well, we ask each other like, hey, what deck are you playing? Why are you using this card, that card? Or we just spectate a game. And we also make fun of each other. Like on Wednesday, I woke up at rank 4,000 legend. So they were making fun of me. The next day, I climbed back to make sure I was above them. So, like, we still have that team mechanic even in off season.
All right. So that pretty much brings us to the end of our interview. Thank you so much for coming. It was super awesome.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching another one of our player spotlights, and thank you again for coming. If you're interested in anything else the club is doing, you can join our Discord at discord.gg/FSU Esports, or you can follow us on Twitter at esports@FSU. So thanks so much. Have a good one.